Hello friends, welcome back. I am so excited to sit down and film today because I am doing my quarterly favorites. I know I used to do monthly favorites, but that became like, I felt like I was trying too hard to find stuff I loved every month. Not to say that I didn't love it, but it was just, it didn't feel as natural. So I wanted to really sit down, put stuff away. I write it on my little list on my phone, and then when I have enough, I sit down and film. So I hope this format works for you. I know people do love favorites because it's just a chance for me to talk about pretty much everything I like. And today we are going to be doing a lot of skincare, a little bit makeup, and even some clothing. So if you are liking this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe below, and we'll get into it. All right. So I said we have a lot of sunscreen today, but I'm going to start with makeup because these things I have been loving. The first one is the MERCIER Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. Here we go. First off, this packaging, stunning, pump top. This is a really, really beautiful foundation for people who don't like foundation. It's very light. I would say you could maybe get like medium coverage if you use a brush probably, but if you want just flawless, real looking skin, use this and a sponge. You probably will have to use a little bit more, but you just get the most natural looking face. I first got it in a little sample from one of my Sephora orders, and I really, really enjoyed it. The shade was not great. I don't even know what the shade is, but then you can see the difference in the tones. This one is quite warm, this one's more neutral. So I ended up picking up 2C2 Soft Sand, and I love this stuff. I wear it alone, I'll mix it with other stuff. It's just a really natural, perfect, light foundation. It's very pricey, you know, it is MERCIER, but it's been something I've been reaching for on a daily basis, and I cannot stop using it. Another one I got as a sample. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I mean, this is not anything new. This has been a favorite of people's for years, and I actually have it on my face today. It's incredible. I just purchased they have now like a travel or mini size. It's maybe like 6.6 fluid ounces. Incredibly pricey. Like the travel size is the price of a normal foundation. But when I use this, I don't use it often just because I only have this size, but I'm getting the bigger one. It just sits on my face and literally like, it's kind of like this, the MERCIER one, but I feel like almost like a little bit better. Like had I had this for my wedding day, I definitely would have worn it. I've got a little bit of glow, but that's not from it. It has a very just natural finish. It doesn't have any super glow. It's not super matte. It's just skin. So as you can see from the two foundations that I'm kind of talking about today, the Giorgio Armani and then the MERCIER, they look like skin, and that is kind of what I'm going for. I'm kind of over the really super glowy and super matte. I just want something to look like skin and not look heavy and cakey on my face. So that's what I'm wearing. Another one that I am not actually wearing today, but I have talked about probably, I don't know how many times already, is the CIELE Blush and Protect SPF 50. This stuff is so incredible. Also, I think one of the reasons I love it so much is this shade is like my perfect shade. I'm gonna swatch it on my hand. So it's got kind of like a pinkish tone to it, but it's like a little bit muted. It's not anything too crazy. When you blend it out, first off, look at how easily it blends out. It's got pigment, but it's not overly pigmented. I mean, I think their deeper shades will give you more of a punch, but this one, it just feels like a really, really natural tint and color to it. And the other reason that I love it so much is, I've talked about this before, why don't all liquid or cream blushes, maybe not cream, but liquid, come with a doe foot applicator? Like, I'm sorry, but it seems so obvious, but it's so genius. Today, I'm wearing the VIEVE Sunset Blush, and I mixed it with the VIEVE Skin Dew. Two things that I love. It gives me a really natural kind of glowy, pinkish blush look, but I had to squeeze it out onto my little palette, and I used so much, not by choice, like it just, you know, when you put it on the palette or wherever, you use too much and you never end up using it all. So I'm wasting probably half of it every time, and then like for the full bottle, I probably waste half, you know? So it's one of those kinds of things. And I think when you have the doe foot applicator, you don't waste any. So this is pricey, but again, I pretty much wear it nonstop. All right, one that kind of doubles as makeup and sunscreen is the TAN-LUXE Super Glow Broad Spectrum Sunscreen SPF 30. So these are called Illuminating Bronzing Drops, and these are very similar to like your Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy or the Chanel Le Beige highlighter. The difference, which I wish both of these, the other two had, is this has SPF 30 in it. So what I do with this, and this is a chemical formula, so some people may disagree, and even sometimes I'm like, should I do this? But when I have a super white casty, usually mineral, like non-tinted sunscreen, I'll put it on and then I take a few drops. You really, probably like more like 1 drop. I'm not gonna drop it out right now. Just go sparingly though, caution. So I put 1 drop in my hands, rub it together, and then put it on my face, and the white cast is gone. And I like the fact that it's an additional amount of SPF. It's really a minimal amount. You would have to use like the whole bottle to get, I don't know, any like true coverage, or not coverage, but protection. So I find like this just kind of gives me that little oomph, and it's really good if you don't want to wear any makeup. If you're just looking for a no makeup day, you can put this over a little tinted or non-tinted mineral sunscreen and you're good. It cancels out the white cast. It gives you a little bit of glow. It is beautiful. So love it. Moving on, we have 3 mineral sunscreens that I have been loving, and I've talked about all of them so far. I think this one will be up soon if it's not up already. This is the Beauty Pie Traceless Mineral SPF 30. This stuff is incredible. When I'm talking about like a non-tinted mineral sunscreen, this is the only one I've been reaching for lately. It's got kind of a pinkish, maybe like peachish hue to it. I'll show you. Here we go. But it doesn't have any tint, so it's gonna work on all skin tones. If you have a deeper skin tone, you might have a little bit of a cast, but it's not gonna be super crazy. And of course, like I said, you can just go over it with the TAN-LUXE. But that sunscreen has been something I've been reaching for on like my Saturdays, my Sundays when I don't wanna wear makeup and I just want SPF. So love this. Not super heavy, not super greasy, maybe not dry like matte, but it's more like if you have a little bit more dry to normal skin, I would recommend this for you. And then 2 others. These are tinted and I have videos up on both of these, so check them out. The first one is a Lightsaver SPF Activated Mineral Sunscreen, SPF 33, and then we have the Bubble +1 Tinted Mineral Sunscreen, SPF 40. Ooh, these are so good. The reason that I love these is because this one, the bubble one, does not have hardly any tint. It just makes my skin, like it cancels out the white cast. It doesn't have a crazy orange tone or a crazy like neutral undertone. It's just there, or not there, I guess is the same. It's SPF 40. It goes on so quickly. It absorbs into the skin. Mineral sunscreens don't always absorb into my skin, so I do love that about this. And it's, I think like $15. It's really cheap for what you're getting. So highly recommend this one. I don't like the non-tinted one as much, but this one, just for that like lack of color, is really great. And then we have the Lightsaver. And the reason that I like this one is the tint is maybe a little bit more noticeable, at least on my tone, but it has more of a kind of like velvet matte finish to it. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's like one of those consistencies where you can feel a little bit of the silicones in it. But this one is just another great everyday sunscreen. If you want, you can put maybe a little makeup on over top either of them. You don't necessarily need it. This one, I would say with the Lightsaver, has a bit more pigment than the Bubble, but they're both really natural looking and work for a lot of different skin tones. All right, the last sunscreen we have is the Naturium UV Reflect Antioxidant SPF 50. So I'm almost done with it. That's why it's sitting upside down and I just need to finish it off. But this is a really great chemical sunscreen for all skin tones. There's gonna be no cast. It's not as kind of natural of a finish as I would prefer. Like I really was expecting it to be almost like natural matte, but it has a little bit of a glow to it. So it's not anything where you're gonna be like a disco ball all day, but it's also not gonna dry out your skin. It's just a perfect summer sunscreen. I wore this pretty much all summer. I reach for it time and time again. You can get it at Target. I saw it in the store, which is a huge plus. And Naturium is usually like $20, $25-ish, so pretty affordable, and I could just run out and get it if I needed it. So, love this stuff. All right, 2 more things. We have the Perricone MD Hypoallergenic Clean Correction Gentle Cleanser. This is 6 ounces. This is insane. It's such a big amount, but when they say it's a gentle cleanser, it really truly is. And I find that not all the time when you get like one of those light foaming ones, because I feel like the more foam in a cleanser, it's a little bit more stripping, at least on my skin. But this one is truly, truly gentle. It has this really thin, but not too thin consistency. You get a lot of it in this packaging. There's no scent to it. It's just kind of a perfect cleanser. I think that for me, I've been trying to like figure out what I like in a gentle cleanser. When it is too foamy, I do feel like it strips my skin and it feels quite dry afterward. But then I have other ones where it's just like the gel cleanser where it doesn't foam at all. And that feels like it doesn't actually clean my face. So I feel like this is combination. It's in the middle, it cleans, but it doesn't strip. And I've enjoyed it so much so far. And the last thing I have, which is very random, is the sleepy tie. This is such a weird thing. It's like one of those, what were they called? The like top knot things. But then it's got this part, this is the top knot. And then these are like two separate kind of hair ties, but they're attached. Do you see that? So what you're supposed to do is it's supposed to be something that you can use for when you have a blowout. I'm not going to demonstrate it 100%, but I'll just show you. You would put your hair back, you know, you can use a brush, and you're supposed to get it on the top of your head. I'll get it close to there. Actually, maybe I will demonstrate. It's not that hard. And then you put it on, pull your ponytail out, and then what you do is you take this part, the neutral part, and then you wrap your hair around it. And I find it's easier to do it when you're not actually looking at it, which is interesting. So you keep wrapping your hair. And my hair, I don't have a blowout right now, it's just straight. But, you know, if you did, it's supposed to keep the curl. So you wrap your hair around it a few times. And then you take this back pink part, take both of them, and it's so much harder when I'm looking in the mirror, but you wrap it around the main part. So I have these little guys that come out, but that's just because I have some layers. And that's it, and then you sleep on it. I like doing it even just when my hair is not necessarily curly, because it does give the ends some wave. And I feel like it just doesn't, my hair just doesn't have that like slept on look, where I feel like when I sleep on it, it can kind of like crunch and come out in weird like shapes and sizes. And then with this, somehow, you would think like tying it up, it would make it like more kind of crunched or whatever. What's the word I'm looking for? Creased, there we go. But somehow it doesn't. Sometimes I have had like a crease at the top, maybe like right where I put it. So I'm trying to figure that part out, but otherwise I really like it. I like sleeping with my hair up, especially when it's warmer out, because I like start to sweat if it's down at night. And they have multiple sizes. This is the small size, and then I think they have a medium and like a large for people who have a lot of hair, but I didn't need that. So that's what it is. Maybe I'll end the video like this. This is a good thumbnail. Hi guys. So I forgot two other favorites that I wanted to include in here. Hopefully you can see me. And they are clothing / shoes. And the first are these pair of jeans. These are from ASOS, and they are like the relaxed cut, straight leg. You don't see any flare. They're very Gen Z. They are literally the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn in my life. I got them probably like a size up. Like I could definitely go down a size. But when you're just lounging around the house, it's nice to just have like not much to it. But if you don't like the baggy or straight leg look, these are not for you. Of course, I will link it below if they're still available. The other thing, and I wouldn't necessarily wear this together. I mean, it's kind of a look, but these boots are incredible. So these are from Target, and I got them 30% off. So I don't know if the sale will still be going on, but I had like a $4 coupon and then 30% off, and they were $26. So I think they're normally $40, but even $40 I would have spent. They've got this kind of like actual sole. So they're Chelsea boots, but I would say like you can wear them in snow and ice and stuff like that. So not lined, very comfortable. Like, I don't know if they're actual real leather, probably not, but they don't feel stiff. They don't feel like painful, and you don't really have to break them in, which is one thing I of course love, but they are incredibly cute. This is a look, is it not? But yeah, two things, probably wouldn't wear them together, but I'm showing you for the purpose of this video. and I have to squat down. It's like my sorority girl squat. All right, now the video is over.